Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Well, it is great to see our next guest, and especially just because he signed a contract.
Yeah, you saw him on our show last week, and he brought his friend, the Grey Cup, with him. Arland Bruce, a.k.a. Runako Reth. He is our handsome king. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Nice
And
to
you
see
re-signed the day after we saw you.
Yes.
Are you a happy camper?
I am. Anytime you can stay in the city where you won the championship and continue that, you know. Nothing's wrong with talking about a repeat.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to be a part of, and it started last week when I signed.
Well, and I guess that's the next step, isn't it? I mean, you've won Grey Cup. You won a Grey Cup with Toronto. Now you won one in BC, but you've never defended it with a follow-up Grey Cup. That's got to be pretty motivating, I think, for all the guys, right?
Yeah,
Definitely.
You, it's going to, you know, even though you go in the off season and you want to work your tail off and work hard, but this is extra motivation to repeat because it's rarely done.
But what a momentum to go into the season with the boys, that you guys did come off that. I mean, that energy that we had at the end of the year. What is that going to be like for you guys going into the season with that on your shoulders?
I think once I get my ring, I can probably speak more about that in May when we get our rings. Then I can definitely speak about that.
I was reading an article. I believe it was in the Globe and Mail, but you were talking a little bit about how you felt when you came to BC and your rediscovery of the joy of playing the game of football, which has been obviously such a huge part of your life. Tell us a little bit about that and how that feels to, you know, because I would assume at some point it becomes a job. It has to, right? You go to the field every day, but to find that joy again would be amazing.
Yeah, when you win, you definitely find the joy in things you love to do. Because when you lose, it's tough to say, do I really want to do this?
Yeah.
You know,
get beat up for nothing.
Yeah, get beat up for nothing. You know, you don't make it to the playoffs, you don't make it to the championship. In the off season, you're like, man, what if I could have did better? Or do I want to continue doing this? But when you win, it's like reading fresh, and that's how I look at it. I always approach things in a positive manner, and. As a Grey Cup champion, man, I'm looking to come back.
That doesn't sound too bad.
That helps the
going
positivity.
to the big dance, as you guys did, the Lions, going into that big game, as a player, I mean, how do you guys psych yourself out? Because, of course, it's Super Bowl Sunday. What is the player's mindset going into the big game?
So many distractions, too, right? So you got to focus.
Yeah, there are a lot of distractions, but you have to treat it as you did during the season. Even though it's, you say that, you're like, no, this is it. All the chips are on the table. You just have to find a way that you can get comfortable. Like what I did was just did my normal routine, watched the movie at night, soaked in some Epsom salt and honey.
Wait. You know what I'm Slow down. Epsom salts and honey.
Epsom salt and honey.
That's your key.
I know what the Epsom salts do, but what does the honey do for you?
It's just something that I thought that's something I've been doing for a while. It's just something that I do. Everyone has their own routine, whether it's wearing the same socks.
Hey, you won.
That's right.
Don't change it.
That's awesome.
That's right.
How much of a role does, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl in a bit, but for you in your life and you know, sort of pregame everything, how much of a role does music play in just maybe who you are in your life? Every day,
whether it's me cleaning up, cooking, or going to practice, you know, even in the locker room. You got to have something that brings you up, bring your spirits up, whether it's a slow song or something that's rowdy. You know, and I've been around music all my life. You should see my parents dance. They can groove.
Really?
Can they?
Yeah.
And we've actually got, I think,
one of your songs
off YouTube as well. And tell us about your involvement professionally in music.
Yeah, MMR Worldwide, Mr. Moneymaker, and Rob Black from Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah.
We are moving up right now in the music industry. We're working with Sony and Universal right now on some tracks. And MMR Worldwide is really going to blow up, and I'm the A&R director of Canada. Okay,
nice. And do you do some of the production stuff as well?
I do. I'm actually the author of Loonies and Toonies. That's on iTunes and CD Baby right now. And I've been fortunate enough to contribute with the songs across the league and any other things that we're doing.
Any more new songs for the Lions going into the new season? Are you going to write some new good luck songs?
Oh, no, we're going to keep that song. We went undefeated with that song, so
there's no reason to take
Now, speaking of music, the halftime show at the Super Bowl, Madonna, what do you think?
I love Madonna. I've always been a fan of Madonna. She's changed the game.
She puts on a great show.
Yeah, she makes people be who they are. I think that's where Lady Gaga got her style from.
Yeah, for sure.
Madonna's super.
Do you watch the Super Bowl? I mean, everybody pretty much does, but it must be interesting to watch it from a professional standpoint as well, and watch these guys fly around. And Any particular favorites? I know you don't have an association with either team, but what do you look at when you sort of try and figure out who's going to win this game or who has the advantage?
I love football, so you know, I would like to see Ocho Cinco win. You know, win the Super Bowl after all he's been through, being traded, because I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him win a championship. Not really a favorite of any team, but I think if the Giants can get 28 points or more, they'll win it.
Yeah.
But if the defense can't stop New England's going to win.
And New England, that's kind of their weakness. Their D isn't always as stalwart.
Go Giants, huh?
That's not going to happen. Now, you mentioned food, and you say that you make a mean lasagna.
Mean.
Mean?
Like good.
So do I.
Is that
and I think the next time you come here, you and I should have a lasagna off. You want to be the judge?
No, because I'm scared of both of you. So I don't want to be in that position of judgment. But I'm willing to watch you guys throw down, and we can have a panel of blind taste tests.
I think we should.
Is that right?
I think we should.
We got a couple minutes left, and we want to talk about your acting as well, because you know, you're not a guy to sort of, you know, sit back in the off season. You're very creative, and you like to, obviously, music and cooking and all this stuff, and acting. Is this new to your life? Is this?
This is new. I mean, I took classes in college and high school, you know, in theater classes, but this is something I'm challenging myself, and I've had 2 monologues in the last 2 weeks. I'm taking classes over here at VADA.
Yeah.
The director's been great there.
You're enjoying it?
I really am.
And you're going to do a monologue from one of our favorite movies. What monologue are you doing for your next class?
Taxi Driver. I'm playing Robert De Niro.
Wow.
So, you know, Black Robert De Niro.
Yeah, you just got to throw it out like that. There you go. That's beautiful, man. Well, we're looking forward to it. And when do you really start ramping up for preseason and training camp and all that kind of stuff? When does it start for real for you?
Well, I actually leave this weekend to Las Vegas. That's where I'll be training at, and I'll be with Floyd Mayweather's old trainer, training out there for the next 2-3 months, and then we start back up in end of May, early June.
What kind of training do you do when you're training in Vegas with a trainer like him? I mean,
just light, you know, easy stuff.
Oh, it's intense. It's one-on-one. It's private. It's intense. You know, I really take my training and my health seriously when it comes to that, so I can perform at a high level. After playing 10, 11 years, you have to be on point, especially they'll start looking at your age and things like that. So I have to make sure my body's intact.
All these young kids come to camp. They're like, hey, senior, what's going on?
Exactly. I love it, though, because, I mean, you know, I remember being on the other side. So I look forward to that.
You just throw down the monologue from Taxi Driver to a few of these kids in camp, and then they will back off right away.
It's like, he's the lowest.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you. Enjoy the Super Bowl Sunday.
Appreciate it.
All right, of course, you can catch the 46th Super Bowl pitting the New York Giants against the New England Patriots. Kickoff is scheduled for Go Ocho Cinco, scheduled for 3:30. For more information, go to superbowl.com.
I'm just watching it for Tom Brady. Really? I'm going to admit it.
Just that slow-mo run out of the tunnel, the hair
when he does that thing, when he bosses everyone around. Sorry.
Wow. Just a little view inside Fiona.
Every girl knows what I'm talking about. We're going to take a break, and when we return.